right? So we started with the seatbelt, okay? Basic control position, right? Now, he's very rarely going to be here. What did we work on first? Choking, right? So he's starting to grab my lapel, starting to pull. Now I'm in trouble. Now I'm in danger, right? Anytime somebody is choking me, I'm always trying to look towards the elbow, whatever arm is choking me. Does that make sense? If I look into the choke, don't even grab it. Even without him finishing it, if I look into it and tighten it, I choke myself out. Right? So I'm always trying to look into the choke. I'm always trying to look at the person trying to kill me. Right? That's why when we fall down, not only am I putting my head on the ground, I'm looking at him. Go ahead and choke me. As long as my head is down and I'm looking up, right? Things will start to go dark, but it's going to be very, very hard for him to choke me. And that's where he has to move on to bow and arrow or something else. Does that make sense? All right. I need some sort of feedback. All right. So, this time, I want to try to stop him before he can get my lapel, right? So, I'm controlling his hands as much as possible, right? He's grabbing mine, but I'm also grabbing his, right? We're getting this back. So, if I don't have a hand, I'm controlling where his hands are going. Does that make sense? Simple enough? All right. So, don't let him get your lapels. Try to stay in the way. If you can't grab it, all right, then get in its way so he can't grab onto that stuff. Cool? What I'm trying to do is isolate one of his hands. Because if he's grabbing something, he's not holding onto himself and locking his arms together. So, as he starts to try to grab my lapel, and that's why this hand is in the way, right? As soon as he opens up to try to choke, I'm controlling that wrist. I'm going to get a 2-on-1 grip. Okay? I'm going to pass that arm over my head and glue my head to the back of his shoulder. Cool? So I'm looking into him. Be aware there is an arm bar on this arm if I'm not careful. Okay? So if he just loosens up and I feel like I can turn too easy, that leg's probably coming to catch my head. Right? So I'm controlling his arm. I'm keeping that pressure. Okay? And I'm going to start driving into him to turn my hips over. Still keeping my head on his shoulder. Okay? As long as I stay connected, he's not going to be able to step over my head. Now, when I'm ready to escape, I'm going to take that outside hand, post on his leg, start passing. And I can clear. Cool? So, pass the arm over. Whatever side you're getting the arm to is the way you're going to turn. All right? Keep yourself glued to that arm. Right? As long as you're glued to that arm, glued to that shoulder, they're not going to be able to step over to the arm bar. Then you can clear that outside leg. You need to pass him to side control, half guard, turn into guard, right? Whatever it takes to get on top. Cool? So, start that seatbelt. All right? Hand in, hand here. When he's ready to start trying to choke, control my wrist, whatever, I'm going to keep his hand from grabbing me. Right? Find that wrist, 2-on-1. Up and over, head into his shoulder, turning towards it. Turn my hips over, and I can start passing. Yes? 1, 2, 3.